Figurized Standard Amplified Imperialdramon Paladin mode. Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the channel. In today's video, we have the Figurized Standard Amplified Imperialdramon Paladin mode from Bandai. This kit was released in January of 2022 and it costed me 90 bucks Canadian. And if you didn't know, Imperialdramon Paladin mode was the founder of the Royal Knights. And then he just left. And the Paladin mode is the fusion of Imperialdramon Fighter mode and Omnimon, first appearing in the Digimon movie, Revenge of Diaboromon. Right, there's your little bit of lore tidbit. Now let's get on to the review, starting with the box. And what you might first notice is that the box is significantly bigger than the original Imperialdramon Fighter mode's box. In addition, we got a small little logo on the top left portion, highlighting the second season of Digimon. And then we have the absolutely amazing looking box art. Man, I really want a poster of this. The lighting effects and highlights look absolutely stunning. And on the side of the box, we got Imperialdramon in a variety of poses, holding his Omega Blade. You'll also notice that the wings are very large, unlike the previous Imperialdramons. And keep in mind this is a painted figure, so the out-of-box build won't look like this. There's also a bit of writing here and there, explaining the engineering that went into making the sword, which is actually the best part of the kit, but we'll be getting into that later. On the other side of the box, we got Imperialdramon fully built, non-painted, in a neutral pose, front and back view, and a little bit of lore. But I don't know how to read, so have fun reading it yourself. And with that being said, here is Imperialdramon Paladin mode. Straight build, very little panel lining, only on the white armor, relatively easy to build, only took me 4 hours, and I used every single sticker available, which thankfully wasn't too much. You got stickers for the normal places, eyes for the main head and the dragon head on the chest, a jewel sticker for the main forehead, these gold stickers on the ribs and for the back, and some stickers for the vents on the leg. If you know me, I hate stickers, but these ones were really easy to put on and there wasn't that many. Good thing there was no stickers for the swords. Right? Right? Oh god, there is.
People, calm down!
Before you burn everything down, these stickers are actually pretty good. As stated on the box overview earlier, there is some new design elements implemented for the sword. We have these new plastic stickers, similar to the capes that are used for the new Digimon kits, meaning they are more durable, they have a cleaner look, the adhesive is pretty strong so it sticks on very well, and they were actually very easy to put on. You can hardly tell it's a sticker, and it looks very good on the sword. In addition, we also got these nice little jewel stickers that go on the side of the sword, resulting in a very good looking weapon. So even though they are stickers, they did a good job with these. And pretty much this applies to the whole kit, at least appearance wise. The white that they used is very glossy, similar to that on the Omegamons, and I chose the panel line parts of it just to break up all that white. In addition, they also changed up the gold. If you watched my other Imperialdramon's video, I didn't really like the gold in that one. However, for the Paladin mode, the gold is definitely an improvement. Though I wish it was chrome, it still looks very good. Though I gotta point out, the gold does leave stress marks, so be careful when you snip it. In contrast, the white, blue, and black parts of the kit left nothing. Another physical change you probably noticed is the wings are brand new. They are very huge and they're all satin silver. They're made up of 2 pieces and the inner piece has this combination of looking like a bat wing with like feathers on the inner part of the wing, and then the rest of the wings kind of just look like wings off of a pterosaur. But I do find it a much better improvement than those small little dinky wings that the fighter mode had, especially when you have it in dragon mode. Also, the blue and black are a much different shade compared to the fighter modes. The blue and black is much darker on the paladin modes and it contrasts really well with the bright colors. And aside from the color swap and giant wings, surface level detail is virtually identical, there's a good amount of it, great for panel lining, and it still looks pretty good. Visually, the only problem that I have is the shoulder pauldrons. I dislike how you can see right into the shoulder joint, it looks pretty ugly to me. Aside from that, it looks absolutely amazing. However, structurally, this thing sucks. Because it shares the same frame as the previous Imperialdramon, and that one is already loose, and somehow this got worse. I'm not sure if I got a lemon, but this kit is actually very irritating to work with, and I don't look forward to doing the articulation portion, but you gotta do what you gotta do. And before we even began, the wings started to droop down. Starting with the head, it can move side to side, up and down this far. Due to the neck collar on the chest, it prevents it from doing a 360, but it could still rotate 180. Moving on to the arms, we have this much in the abduction, and the arm just fell off. Yep, gonna be a recurring theme. Shoulders are very loose, 360 rotation in the arm. The pauldrons can move up and down, and the arm just came off again. 360 bicep rotation, and I just removed the arm to make this easier, but elbow bend. It's limited because of the gauntlet, but it's able to hyperextend this far. Kinda gross. The claws are able to move up and down, and the hand is on a ball joint so it could 360 rotate and wiggle about. Moving on to the back, the peg that the wing attaches to the backpack is actually quite loose, so sometimes it flops backwards, but the wings are able to externally rotate this far, around 45 degrees, and there's another joint allowing it to rotate forward and back. The outer part of the wing is attached to a ball joint, so it's able to 360 rotate without any issues. Overall, the wings are pretty fun to play around with. They also look pretty good, but they're big and they're heavy, giving the kit balance issues when it's standing, and the connection piece is not as strong, so the wings do sometimes droop, and if you play around with it, it could fall off. Moving on to the chest, we got the dragon head, and like the previous Imperialdramon, it can open and close its mouth, while also being detachable. There's also this much of a side bend, back extension and ab crunch, and 360 rotation. Moving on to the tail, which is a very important piece because it acts as a kickstand, allowing the kit to actually stand on the ground. It's attached to the lower body with a ball joint, allowing it to have some circular movement and 360 rotation. The tail consists of two segments, the top portion here and the lower portion, which is attached to a ball joint, allowing it to rotate. Now to legs, there's actually a hinge joint over here that allows the leg to move up and down, and we have this much of a split. Yeah, not too much. Oh, and the leg just came off. And I gotta say that this thing pissed me off so much, it took me 3 minutes to actually try to reattach the stupid hip. The hinge joint just kept going up and down and it just never aligned. Pretty friggin' annoying, so be careful when you actually move the legs. In addition, the leg is able to rotate up this way, and because of that ability, it's able to kick up this high, which is really good, and kick this far back, which is exceptional. And we got this much of a knee bend. Oh, don't bend it too much or else you're gonna just open up that thigh. The foot is quite loose, but it's able to do a 360 rotation. And the toes can move up. Okay, I guess I'll just fall off. I guess I'll make it easier. The claws can move up and down. And the toe section here can move up and down as well. So like the previous Imperialdramon kit, the articulation is still very limited. Next up, accessories and extras. And first thing we have is the Omega Blade. We saw a little bit of it at the beginning of the video. And to reiterate what I already previously said, looks great. Stickers make it look even better, surprisingly. And that the gold leaves some stress marks when cut. Coming down to the hilt, you can see that there's a good amount of colored part separation, and also the jewel on the hilt looks pretty good. Though it doesn't have too much surface level detail on it, it still looks particularly very good, and also it's very long, longer than the Imperialdramon. And to equip it, you just gotta pop off the pommel of the sword, slide it through the hand, then reattach the pommel. And with that, you could definitely see how well the sword fits the kit. And despite the weak joints, it has no issues holding the blade one-handed. Alternatively, the sword can be wielded with both hands, just slide it right through the other hand, and the end result is still equally as impressive. Goes to show how cool you could look holding a giant sword. But this kit on a ground pose looks stupid, so we get an action-based adapter. So get yourself an action base, not included, connect the adapter, and then plug it into his butt. A dynamic aerial pose is much more fitting for this kit, because you know, you got wings. And this solves all the balance issues as well. In addition, you also get parts to make the positron cannon, and also to transform it into the dragon mode. However, because this kit only emphasizes the paladin mode, the manual doesn't provide instructions to make the positron laser, or how to transform it to dragon mode. However, I do have the manual for the previous Imperialdramon, so we can use this for the next step. Firstly, we can make the positron laser following these steps. Here it is. No color contrast, pretty good pattern lining opportunities though, and good surface level detail. To equip it, you can hold it this way, sticking it onto the gauntlet, looking pretty cool and intimidating with a giant arm cannon. Or you can have it hold it double-fisted way and put it on his chest. Just gotta flick out both the handles on the side, and you can open up the dragon mouth to make it look more aesthetic, then slot the handles into the hands, and there you go. Though it looks pretty cool, I still prefer the other way of holding it, but still pretty imposing. And as a kit, it's still pretty large. As it stands right now, it's around 10 inches. Of course, that could vary depending on how you position the wings, but right now in that position it's 10 inches. As for wingspan, it's around 19 inches, so it's gonna take up a lot of shelf space. As for size comparison, here it is next to the Entry Grade Arc 78-2, Master Grade Arc 78-2, a full mechanics mirrorless Kenbu. Though big as it may be, it's still not as thick as the Figurized Standard Amplified Machinedramon. And here it is next to the normal Figurized Standard Amplified Imperialdramon Fighter Mode. And side by side, you can clearly see the size difference in the wings. And here it is next to DK, Haro, Doraemon, the box it comes in, very big, Windex to clean my shelves, and a giant Magikarp. And like I said earlier, it takes up a lot of shelf space. but boy does it make a good centerpiece, and it's still got space next to it for Alphamon. Can't wait. Now, you think I forgot the shake test? Nah. It performed as expected. Pretty crappy. But now this helps me transform it, because I need to remove parts anyways. And unfortunately, like I said earlier, the Paladin mode's manual doesn't provide you instructions on how to actually transform it to Dragon, but using the manual from the previous Imperialdramon kit, we could actually work backwards from this, allowing us to transform it into Dragon mode. Just want to remind you that this kit gives everything you need for Dragon mode. We got the hair, which comes in gold, the upper pec torso area, which replaces the dragon head, and the long neck. Already, first thing you want to do is decapitate him. Now just attach the long neck, remove the dragon head off of the chest, and then replace it with the torso that comes with it. And while you're at it, pop off the pauldrons, remove the crest and this back portion. Now we have all the pieces to assemble the head. Attach that back piece to the hair, and then attach the dragon head onto that, then the head onto the neck, then the crest onto the head. And for the next part, we're doing the arms. They could be a little tricky, just because there's a couple locking mechanisms. Firstly, you gotta unlock it by twisting this top portion of the arm and pulling it straight up, then turning it again to lock it. This will also unlock the forearm, allowing it to extend out. It might take a couple of tries, but don't try to brute force it. After which, you could reattach the arm, and then next up, attach where the pauldrons are right onto the forearms, making sure the spiky bit is facing down. Then moving on to the legs, I prefer to pull them off. There's a locking mechanism over here that you gotta unlatch. This will allow the ankles to retract, and you're pretty much done. Reattach the legs, and Dragon mode is complete. Though the head proportions do look weird, the colors make it look a lot better than the original Imperialdramons, especially the gold.
I love gold!
Well said, gold member. Also, in contrast to the, disproportionate head, it finally has proportional wings, which is much more fitting. Now, if you want to display this in an aerial pose, luckily this kit does come with the action-based adapter, in white I might add, and you can just slide it right here between the abdomen, and though I will never display it in the dragon mode, it looks exceptional in this pose. Those wings are beastly. One minor gripe is because those wings are so big, you can't really attach the positron laser onto its back properly. And if you try, it's going to be a very loose connection. So don't be surprised if it falls off, or when it falls off. That being said, I'm going to just take it off to do this next part. Gonna just remove that action-based adapter, hold it right here in the mix section, and yeah, no annoying sound effects, no nothing. It just kind of bisected. There you go. And now we come to the end of the review. What are my final thoughts, and should you buy this kit? Appearance-wise, the Paladin mode and the Dragon mode for this kit looks absolutely amazing. The wings are much better proportion, and the colors just look exceptionally better on this kit. The Omega Blade looks very cool, and though it lacks detail, that is kinda offset with the use of the stickers surprisingly. And that's the positives. Unfortunately, it's still a very loose kit, especially in my case, it was just falling apart when I was handling it. And aside from the drastic color change and the larger wings, it's virtually identical to the fighter modes. So same amount of surface level detail and panel lining opportunities. A decent amount of colored part separation, and it was a pretty fun easy build. And even though the manual lacks the instructions on how to make the positron laser or how to transform the dragon mode, I loved how Bandai still included those pieces. Overall, this kit is pretty much just a recolor with a little change on the wings and extra sword. Structurally, not much of an improvement to the previous Imperialdramon kit, but visually, it's a very beautiful kit that will definitely stand out on the shelf, and I personally would prefer this over the other kit. But is it worth $10 more than the original kit? Yes, it absolutely is. But that's just my personal opinion, it's up to you. Hey, thanks for watching my videos, I hope you like it, I enjoy making it. Let me know what you think. Now if you liked the video, please consider hitting the like and subscribe button, I'd greatly appreciate it. Thanks again for watching, take care, bye.